Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 4 of To Whom It May Concern. I'm Audrey.
And I'm Liv.
What we got this week, Liv?
Okay, so we have a couple of good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have 3 submissions this week that we're going to talk about.
Cool.
Okay, so here's the first one. We'll just jump right into it. All right, I met this one friend/coworker over the summer. My boyfriend and her happened to have matched on Tinder before I met either of them. Nothing came from it, and he's not interested in her whatsoever. She, however, has made comments such as, let blank know he could have had all this, or wow, I really dodged a bullet on that one. And that really bugged me. I haven't said anything because I don't want to make her upset. She hasn't said something like that recently, but it instead has been extremely rude. My boyfriend will drop off coffee at work and she will call him an asshole right to his face. He's had something stolen from him, and she said, wow, that really made my day when she found out. She's also said, the more stories I hear about him, the more I hate him. I find this incredibly offensive. Her and I are now moving in together, and I'm worried that she's just going to be mean to my boyfriend. He has made some mistakes in the past, but he's a good guy and we love each other. How should I handle this?
Okay.
Thoughts?
Well, it sounds like she has some pent-up anger towards your boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know necessarily what he did, because I know you said he's done stuff in the past, so maybe he pissed her off in some way. Maybe, I don't know. She said that she's like heard stories about him, so
mm-hmm. I don't know if those are actually like stories that she's heard around like campus or whatever, or stories that you have told her.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, but it just sounds like she's got something against him,
mm-hmm.
and I mean, not fair to take that out in the way that she's doing, especially around you. I think that just like makes
mm-hmm.
things really uncomfortable. So I would definitely, if your boyfriend is aware of like the issues that they have with each other, I feel like that's definitely something they should hash out. You should be like, what is it about me that is making
mm-hmm.
you this angry?
I'm sensing some jealousy with let blank know he could have had all this.
Yeah. No, she just sounds like she's just not over the situation at all.
Right. And she's your friend. She should be supportive of your relationship.
Yeah. So I think at some point, either you or your boyfriend or both of you have to be like, hey, that's hurtful to just like call me an asshole, right? Like, that's,
mm-hmm.
just like makes me uncomfortable. We're gonna be living together, and I don't want you to hate my boyfriend, especially if he's going to be around. Mm-hmm. So I think that you need to just like, whoever is more comfortable doing it, have like a conversation with her and be like, we need to figure this out before we live together.
I think that I mean, I feel like definitely you need to say something before you two live together, because I mean, you're both gonna be sharing the house. I'm sure the boyfriend's gonna come over every once in a while.
I couldn't imagine like not liking my roommate's significant others. Like that would just like, or like
mm-hmm.
a roommate not liking me as a significant other.
Mm-hmm.
It would just make it really uncomfortable.
Right. But yeah, I think you should definitely speak to her about that and maybe be like, hey, I know you don't really like blank, but you need to be respectful of him, and you can't just call him an asshole to his face.
Yeah.
He's gonna be over sometimes, and I mean, like that's just...
Yeah. I think you need to talk to her and be like, is this a problem that we can fix? Can you like forgive or forget about what happened and like be friendly with him? And if not, then you just need to be respectful,
right,
and
keep your thoughts to yourself.
Keep your thoughts to yourself and not near us.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. I would try to do that before you have to like live together.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of.
Definitely.
You don't want to wait too long, because then things get all pent up, just like apparently what's happening with her. So.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I could live under the same roof as someone that has previously matched with my boyfriend.
It would be a little weird. I mean, it sounds like he's not really giving her any attention.
Right. I don't know. I just feel like she's like pissed off at you for dating this guy, even though they had just matched on Tinder.
Yeah.
Like, I'm feeling like I really am feeling a sense of jealousy with, wow, that made my day, and let him know he could have had all this. Or,
Yeah.
wow, I really dodged a bullet. Like, those things are rude to say.
Yeah, they're not nice. So I would, figure out what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. There has to be more than just, like, the fact that they've matched. Like, I feel like she has to have something against him, but that's, I don't know, not an excuse to make you uncomfortable. No. She doesn't have to, like, drag you into it. And I feel like she's doing that on purpose, like, saying that stuff around him and you.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't sound very nice, but I would try to see what the problem is and why she's acting that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts? Okay.
I don't think so.
Final thoughts. I think you and your future roommate need to talk about this.
Yeah. And if it's worth having like a conversation with the boyfriend too.
Right.
Like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if your boyfriend hasn't done anything specifically to her, I don't feel like your boyfriend needs to go into that.
No, but if she feels like she needs to, like, work something out with him to, like, not be so angry, then I feel like that would be worth it. But I would probably talk to her first.
Mm-hmm. All right. Should we move on to the next one?
Sure.
All right. I hope things work out with you and your future roommate, because that... if you already have roommate problems and you guys haven't even moved in, that's rough.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one, moving on. I need to know if I'm crazy about how much this is bothering me. My boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, they broke up over 2 years ago, and we've been dating for over a year, has recently tried multiple times to get in contact with my boyfriend. He had blocked her previously on everything, but she has made new accounts in an attempt to get in contact with him. He has been 100% honest about it and has physically showed me blocking her again at his free will. He has said many times that he wants nothing to do with her, and that's not even a question in my mind. However, she has now moved on to me. I noticed that she lurks in my Instagram stories. She has favorited a few of my Visco pics that have pictures of him in it. And she stalks my TikTok page. I secretly searched his phone one time while he was in the shower just to confirm that she really was gone from his phone, because I was paranoid even though he had given me no reason to believe anything was going on. Long story short, yes, I could just block her, but on another level, it gives me a sense of satisfaction that I have a fan. What do you think I should do? That's awkward.
That's really weird. I want to put out there, I understand the temptation to look through your boyfriend's phone. I wouldn't do that again if you really have no reason to. You don't want to.
Right.
You don't want him to find out that you're doing that and then
Right.
cause problems, like, because that's just, like,
Yeah.
shows of, even if you say you trust him, that just shows a lack of trust. So I would avoid doing that and try not to let her get to you, because he's clearly not interested at all.
Right.
And he's clearly not, like, reaching out to her or anything like that. So I would try not to project your feelings about the situation onto him. Right. And
I'm glad that he's been 100% honest with you about it.
Yeah.
That shows a really strong relationship, that he's like, hey, this person
so
is
I
trying
would
to get in contact with me.
Feel good about his reaction towards the situation, because he could have handled it very differently. Yeah. But it seems like he's handling it very well. So feel good about your boyfriend and his honesty. Right. As for her, I would block her on everything. I know it's like seems
it's like, ooh, I have little
it's like, ooh,
and like you can play into it a little bit, you know what I mean? But at some point it just gets to a point where, like, this is really fucking weird and you need to stop this. Yeah.
I think that sometimes I feel like I would be like, oh yeah, you're, like, obsessed with me, and, like, I would kind of like that a little bit, like having somebody, like,
it's Doug.
Oh, okay. I was like, what was that? Having somebody looking at all my stuff, or, like, favoriting my visco, whatever. But at some point,
it gets creepy.
She's gonna have a space in your head, like, and you don't want that.
Right.
So I would just kind of remove her because she sounds
psychotic.
she sounds like a lot. Yeah.
Right. And we don't know what happened between your current boyfriend and her.
But I would just say, like, I know you say, like, you're kind of just letting her do it because it's, like, fun. But at the same time, it's obviously causing some stress. If you're going to look through your boyfriend's phone, it's obviously causing you some sort of, like, paranoia, stress. Like, so I would block her to the best of your abilities and just focus on you and your boyfriend, because you don't want to cause any drama. You don't want to. She doesn't deserve to see you guys in your relationship.
I also think it's okay to be paranoid too.
Oh yeah, because no, it's okay to feel that way. Right.
But at that point, she's getting in your head, and you, like, I mean, you're allowing her to get into your head with her. Like, in your Instagram pictures.
Because at some point, you're going to start checking to see if she saw stuff. You're going to start doing 100%. What she's doing, kind of. You guys are just going to, you know, the longer you let it go on, the more it kind of
I just feel
gets to you.
I mean, like, I guess it could be kind of funny at first. Like, oh, my God, like, she's obsessed with me, whatever, like you said. But at some point, you're going to start putting energy back into it. You're
going to start thinking about what you're posting. You're going to start thinking about, like, what she thinks about you guys.
Right.
And her opinion doesn't matter at all.
No, her opinion does not matter at all. But I don't know. I'm going to stress again. I'm really glad that your boyfriend's being 100% honest, and he blocked her at his free will.
Yeah.
Instead of you having to ask him, you need to block her.
Yeah. And I totally understand, like, still maybe feeling a little iffy about it, like, oh, is he being completely honest, like, do I have to, like, check? But from what you say, he sounds like a good dude.
Right.
Don't give her a chance to fuck with you guys.
Yeah.
So I would just, like, nip it in the bud and get rid of her.
I don't know.
Don't kill her, but like
I have a controversial opinion. I think sometimes it is okay to do a little bit of sleuthing. For the greater good, it is okay to do some sleuthing.
Yes.
Like, if you have the passwords to his phone, or you're allowed to be in his phone, I think it is okay to open it up and just quickly check something.
Yeah.
Just for some peace of mind. But it is not okay to do that regularly.
To me, so with my ex, I asked if I could look through because he said one thing and then I found out he was lying, and I was like, I feel like I deserve to, like, take a look. And I did not like what I found.
Yeah.
So in that situation, I guess, yeah, because he probably wouldn't have told me any of those things. But because of that, I've kind of developed a pattern of, like, I really want to, like, look at people's phones. And so I don't think that's good for anybody to constantly be paranoid, even if the person's not giving you any reason to.
Right.
So I wouldn't try to make it a habit of, like, looking at people's phones. Because I just think, honestly, to me, when you get to that point, it's like, what are we doing? You know? Like, if you get to the point where you have to look at somebody's phone.
Yeah. I mean, she said, I secretly searched through his phone one time. And she said, I just wanted to confirm that she really was gone from his phone. I feel like it is okay if it's going to give you a small peace of mind.
Yeah.
You know?
My opinion is, if you guys have a strong relationship, I would ask to do that. Be like, can I just look just to make sure? Right. But I understand why maybe you wouldn't want to.
But I mean, again, like, if you bring it up, like, hey, I need to look through your phone, that might cause even more issues.
Yeah, I wouldn't be like, give me your phone, let me look at it. But I would be like, hey, I'm just, like, an anxious person in general, and, like, it would help me just to, like, visually like, see that this person is not there anymore. I trust you, but this would bring me some, like,
peace of mind.
Peace. And hopefully you could understand that, because I don't like the idea of secretly doing stuff, because if they catch you, you're the one that
Yeah.
looks bad.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but I totally understand wanting to. Like, I have gotten into that like pattern before of just like it's sitting right there and I really want to just like look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like once it gets to that point, if the person's doing things that aren't trustworthy, it's
Yeah.
the relationships, obviously there's a deeper issue than just like a phone.
In a past relationship, I asked to look at his phone one time. I wasn't even like looking for anything. I just wanted to see something on his phone. You know what I mean? I just wanted to see like a picture. I don't even remember. It was just like a picture, or maybe like an app or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he got all weird and he was like, "No, like I don't want you on my phone." Then that tells me you're hiding something.
Yeah. See, with my situation, he was deleting like messages and stuff, and so I was like, "Gimme."
Yeah.
Let me just like
okay,
take a look.
Right, give me your phone.
Yeah. But I hate doing that. I don't like it. And like I said, I think once it gets to the point where they do something that's not trustworthy that you have to look at their phone for, I'm not saying it's not like fixable, but to me that's just like there's no trust. It would be very hard to build that back up.
Mm-hmm.
Your situation is different because you still trusted him, but you just needed a little like confirmation. But yeah, I would try to communicate it before sneaking around.
Right. All right. Shall we move forward? Oh,
Yeah.
wait. Final thoughts on this one?
Block her.
Yeah, block her. It was fun at first, but
Block
now
her.
you're feeding it
She
energy
is going
and,
to, it's gonna eat you
Yeah.
alive.
Mm-hmm. Like a little worm.
Like a little worm.
All right.
An evil worm. Okay.
Moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I gotta find the next one.
How y'all doing? Okay.
All right, next one. How do I cut off a friend that hasn't been very nice to me for a long time? We have a ton of mutual friends, and I don't want to start any drama within the friend group. End quote.
Ooh.
This is a tough one because, I mean, like, yes, you could give her the cold shoulder, but then again, I mean, that's not necessarily cutting them off. And it seems like this has been for a long time, and it's kind of taxing on you.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like an actual cutoff needs to happen.
Yeah.
Not just a distance.
And I know like having mutual friends and being in a group together can make it really hard because then it's like people pick sides. You kind of lose more than just that person. But if they have not been nice to you and they have been making you feel bad, you need to put yourself first.
Right.
And the good people and like the good energy will stay with you.
Mm-hmm. I would not, though, go to other people in the friend group and talk about the situation.
No.
Because that's going to end up people...
Keep it between the two of you and be honest. Be like...
And hopefully you can both just be mature about it and just...
Be honest and be like, here are my problems. I don't feel good in this friendship. Sounds like you've kind of already made your decision if you want to like you can work things out, but it kind of just sounds like you want to cut this person off.
Right.
Say I think it would be best for the both of us if we aren't friends or take space from each other. Respect each other, be nice to each other.
Have you ever had to cut off a friend?
Yes. Let me think.
Because I've had to cut off a friend before.
Yeah.
And it's not fun.
It's honestly, cutting off friends is like
almost
worse than a breakup. Almost worse than a breakup. I cut off. The biggest one I can think of is my friend from high school. We're friends again now. But senior year of high school in the fall, I cut off my best friend. Like, I hung out with her like all the time. She was the only person I hung out with for a very long time. I cut her off because I was in a really bad place. I felt like I was relying too much on her maybe, and there were just like little things that happened that were just like getting to me and kind of balling up into this. I just resented her almost in a way because of just so much happening. And I literally I probably could have done it better, but I was in high school. But I think I just like was like, I can't be friends. I was just like straightforward. I was like, I don't like the way I feel. I can't be friends. And now a couple of years later, and we're like better than we ever, a very healthy relationship. I'm gonna live with her in a year. We are 10 times better at communicating with each other.
Yeah.
She doesn't make me feel bad. I hope I don't make her feel bad.
Yeah.
About anything. Like, we're honest.
Mm-hmm.
So I do think friendships can come and go. Like, I just think we really need like a lot of space from each other.
Mm-hmm.
But when I cut her off, I just like literally was just like honest and was like, I can't do this anymore. Not saying that this friend is gonna like come back, but I do think that you have to do what's best for you, like in the moment.
Right.
Don't think about anybody like else around you. Just think about you and this person, and just be like, hey, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And if the friendship is like worth it and a good friendship, it will return maybe. But
see, my story with cutting a friend off, her and I were friends all throughout middle school, all throughout high school. However, when we got to high school, we kind of started fighting a lot, and I noticed that she would pick fights with me. And it just came to a point where I was like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. Like, in the middle of a fight, I was like, I do not want to be friends with you anymore, because you were constantly starting fights with me. And I cut her off, and then we had a couple months of space, but I was still very, like, not very angry, but I was still like, I don't want to be your friend. And then one day she came to me, which I have to acknowledge, because that takes guts. She came to me, and it was like right before our senior year started, and she apologized for a lot of things, and I accepted her apology. And then she asked me, can we be friends again? And I straight up said, I was like, I accept your apology, but I cannot be friends with you.
Yeah. So you're not friends with her?
No.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. Like, I think with me, I was the one that reached out again to this person, and I was like, I was shitty. Like, I realized I had a lot of resentment towards her, but then as time went on, I realized that I was also in the wrong, maybe even more in the wrong than she was a lot of times. So I like apologized, and we talked about stuff, and then we hung out again, and it was like nothing changed at all.
Wow, that's really nice.
Yeah. It was like literally the first time we hung out again, it was like just another day, you know? And so I do think that, like, if it's like a good relationship and you both have like the best interests in mind, and like you guys like do care about each other, it can come back. But I also think it's totally okay to like cut a friend off and not go back, because you shouldn't just keep people around just to keep them around.
Right.
You know?
And it's totally okay to outgrow people too.
Yeah. And I'm talking about this one specific person a lot, but there have been friendships that I have cut people off, and I just don't talk to them anymore. You know?
Right.
They come and go, like, and that's totally okay.
Right. A lesson that I've had to learn this year is you outgo friendships, and that's 100% okay.
I don't talk to like anybody from high school, really. I talk to the girl that I was just talking about, and one other who I also like took a lot of space from, but pretty much like nobody else. Like, I had a really bad falling out with two friends from high school who came to visit here in September, and I think we realized we were friends in high school, and they came here. So different. Them being in a college environment with me, it was like we did not get along at all, and so I haven't talked to them since they visited. Like, we got into like a fight, they went home, and we have not talked since.
Wow.
And you know, shit went down. It was not a great like ending, but I know they're like good people, and we just don't talk.
Right.
And I think that's okay. If you outgrow people, like, that's totally okay. And when it comes to like people around you, I know it can be awkward if you have mutual friends, but I hope that if they all care about you, they will understand. And like I said, like, the good ones will stick. you don't have to think about anybody else when you are making decisions about the people you keep in your life.
Right.
Like, you just have to think about yourself and what is best for you. And
yeah. Coming back in a little bit, I feel like since you guys have a ton of mutual friends and it sounds like you have a pretty solid friend group, I just want you to prepare yourself, because as soon as one friendship kind of breaks off in a friend group, the friend group usually starts to fall.
yeah. Oh, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys can do this in the most like respectful, mature way. But as soon as one tie is cut in a friend group, the rest starts to go with.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, you're probably most likely not going to have the same relationship with all of them
Right.
that as you do now
Mm-hmm.
if you cut somebody off.
Right.
But don't let that, like, scare you away from doing what is best.
Because, I mean, like, you don't want this person to tax on your mental health.
Yeah. You'd rather have, like, a couple of good friends, like, than keep all these people around just to keep them around if you are in a shitty relationship with somebody.
Right. Any other thoughts?
I don't think so.
All right. I think this was a good episode.
Yeah.
Previously, we recorded, like 30 minutes ago, we recorded a little bonus episode of us playing the card game. We're not really strangers. Yeah. Okay. We played that game. It was really fun. So if you haven't watched that episode or listened to it yet, you should go listen to that. And keep sending us your stuff. We love reading them. We love talking about them. Send us your drama. And yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
If you want to sponsor us, you know where to find us.
Well, see you next time.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.